Session 65, wherein we continue the search for Java's past. But first, the recap from Java.
Of course. The recap. Looks like we found a cool magazine featuring Cade. Apparently, he is a very desirable bachelor. So much so that Nero broke some girl's jaw. It was broadcast live for everyone to see. Also, none of the King's men could find anything useful about me or who I am. So I guess we're going to have to just retrace my steps until we find a useful clue. We made it back to the port of Ascencio, and I think we've met someone who actually might know me.
All right. Very good then. So yeah, that's about where we left off. And I think we're pretty much just ready to pick up where we left off, unless you guys had any questions or things you wanted to be doing first.
Although I am gonna clarify, since it's on the stream, Nara didn't actually break any jaws.
Oh my word.
That is Java's version, and may have been one of the spicier rumors floating around, but
Oh, that's almost certainly true. Yeah.
yeah, footage only showed a rough shove that ended with the overdressed woman stumbling to the ground and squawking about it.
I think I had in the moment I had narrated it as less of a shove and more of a grab and pull, but bodily lifting her off the ground as she's being pulled away.
Mm-hmm.
Would Nero be mad if she saw Java's journal entry?
I don't think she would care.
Hmm.
She really wouldn't.
Okay, I'm just imagining for the court of law later. Yes, like testify about this. Okay, we're good.
Yes, you are leaving the prosecution a lot of firepower.
All right. So we left you all having been greeted by Dockmaster, who did not seem particularly pleased to recognize Java. How are you all taking that? What are you doing in the moment?
What was the last thing he said specifically?
He said, you again.
Oh.
You missed your favorite barista? Obviously.
He just rolls his eyes. Sure, whatever you tell yourself. Just, no more.
Saoirse, go ahead.
Says, no more trouble from you this time, you hear?
Oh.
All right, Saoirse is gonna recognize a little bit of that, a little bit of that accent as possibly Nevian. So she's going to interject herself and try and warmly address him, and she'll just say, "Oh, I can promise he won't be troubling you much this time around, but you might be of some help to us if you wouldn't mind."
Is that so?
Aye, and if you're able to help us, give us a good lead, I've got a good bottle of something that might make it worth your time.
He perks up at that mention. Well, now there's some good sense if I ever heard some.
Aye, do you have a time for our sampling now?
He side-eyes Java, and continues making some notes on his data slab. Got work to do right now, but once I'm done with my shift, then anything you could slide my way would be much appreciated.
Hey,
There's a
well, just let me know what time to expect you, and we'll make sure we have a proper greeting for you.
oh, back here on the ship. Well, figured you'd want to go somewhere shoreside.
Oh, if you've got a good recommendation.
May have. And he reaches for your compad.
She'll hand it over.
How jerky is his reach for the compad? Like, does it look
he just
vaguely threatening?
he just sticks a hand out.
Okay, all right.
Hand him the baby training wheels compad.
No, the baby. Not bad.
The what?
That one we stole from, I think one of the ships when we ran the blockade. And we converted that to like a, you can't do anything with it.
That's right.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just pulls up a note and types in the name of a nearby place. Apparently some bar, and says, "Yeah, meet me there about 7, and we can have a good talk." Just he side eyes Java. If he's coming, rein him in a bit.
I'll make sure he's on his best behavior.
Thank you. And he'll continue taking down the information on the rest of you, and get the name of the ship and your purpose for travel and all that. What would you give him for your purpose for traveling?
Personal.
All right.
For pleasure.
Yeah.
Research if we're pressed.
Yeah. He seems to have gotten the memo. Let's see. Oh, now I'm having to rack my memory. Out of character here. You guys name dropped the General Caldwell.
Yeah, we did.
And sorry, come again?
I said, yeah, we did.
Yes. And Java also name dropped, I believe, another person that he.
Reese, right?
Yeah.
And Tower Guy.
Did
I don't think he named names. He just called him Tower Guy.
I don't think he actually did that.
Say
The infamous Tower Guy.
I think he was. That was him talking off comms, like, "Hey guys, do we remember Tower Guy's name?" But yeah, so name dropped a couple people, but so he seems to not dig too deeply on his questioning. Doesn't do more than just a cursory inspection of the ship. Does a walk through all the main corridors and kind of peeks into a few of the rooms. But yep. And as I said, grunts and heads on his way. So,
all right. Well, are we gonna go shoreside, or have we been cleared to go shoreside?
Yeah, you're good to go. Do you guys? Let's see. Pull up my other thing here. You guys want to poke around, get a feel for the vibe before you go meet up with him, or we can skip ahead however you guys want to do it.
That would be a good idea, just to see how much the ceasefire has made it out here.
Okay. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, we'll say this is fairly early morning. So let's So yeah, you'd have seen some of this on your approach to the starport as well. But as you make your way out of the port towards the rest of the city, you notice.
Isn't there a tower out here?
A tower?
Yeah. Is that not here?
Oh, no. The tower that tower guy was in was down. It was in one of the at the bottom of one of the valleys down in the thicker atmosphere that's not very friendly to being breathed in that pre-tech base that you were basically given coordinates to rendezvous with the resistance fighters. So that was very much somewhere else.
Okay, never mind. Sorry.
You're good. I mean, there are some towers. This is a moderately sized city here on the peak of one of the larger mountains on Urala. But the spaceport, you pass some roped off sections that are pretty severely damaged. A couple of the hangars look completely unusable. And as you kind of pass through the security checkpoint they've got set up at the entrance, and they've got kind of sort of one of these Instapanel shelters set up out front with some kind of limited manpower, it seems like, and you can see the in fact, as you leave, there are a couple people carting rubble off from what looks like it used to be the actual security office at the entrance of the starport. But you pass with little issue. They notably they make note of your weapons, and they encourage you not to use them lightly and keep them to yourself. But they do not confiscate them or ask you to return them to your ship. Saoirse, you are able to tell that one person in the little security checkpoint has some sort of psychic abilities, but
Okay.
they do observe each of you carefully as you pass through.
So probably a meta.
Seems likely.
Okay.
And you're all free into the city.
All right. Can you remind me the name of the city?
This is Asensio.
Asensio.
Mm-hmm.
All right. She'll look over at Brother Nick and ask, Brother Nick, did we have any specific contacts in the city that we were needing to group up with?
I don't think any of maybe some of the rebels are in the city, and I can always reach out to my web of contacts, try to get a feel for how things are on the ground here. Did you actually have a nice bottle of something in mind for that port fellow, or should we see into that as well?
No, the bottle I was offering him is something from back home. I'm not sure they'd be selling it here.
Well, so long as you actually have it.
Brother Nick, I'm offended. Do you think I'd be lying about the finer spirits of life?
All I know is I've been brewing Starship Hooch for the past month or so, and you've been holding out.
Well, after the last time you all got into my batch, do you blame me?
Oh, that stuff was mild. Hardly a starter.
It
Now
was a
that,
spike in coffee, Brother Nick. I'm not exactly sure you had it in the true fashion it was meant to be enjoyed. And I'm sure if you're turning to bathtub hooch, it's not quite the same.
Oh, I don't know.
kind of
That'll
full
put
of
some
faith.
hair on your chest.
Not quite interested in the hair on my chest, but thank you for the offer.
Nero crinkles her nose.
On a side note, when I was growing up, my dad told me that black coffee would put hair on my chest. And my grandma always drank black coffee, so I secretly thought my grandma had a really hairy chest. And imagine my surprise when I discovered she did not, in fact, have any hair on her chest. Oh my. I love sayings like that, by the way, like things that will put hair on your chest. That was just my side note. I think it's hilarious. Saoirse will see the look on Nero's face, and she'll say, don't listen to him, Nero. Next he'll be telling you if you swallow a seed, it'll be growing melons in your stomach.
Well, I did know a shipmate once who
she'll look over at Java and she's gonna let Nick continue talking to Nero, but she'll look over at Java and she'll just say, any other string and a bell, mate? Like gesture, and she'll gesture towards the city.
I remember crawling down this alleyway right here.
Hey, what?
I was
Is
really
it the alleyway they're in right now, or like nearby or something?
No, he's just pointing in a direction generally. I don't actually know which one it would be. Near a train station, probably.
What is your earliest memory here?
Here, getting off of the train.
All right, well, I guess we're headed towards the train station then. Prince DI, do you have a map yet?
Let's see. I don't. I think he would probably be a bit flustered and ask when he was supposed to have acquired such a thing.
She'll shrug. I never know how long it takes you to acquire all these things, but you usually pride yourself in having all the answers. Think you're starting to slip? Not sure you're ready for royalty.
Does that mean I have to stop calling him nerd?
I don't know. What else will you call him?
Yeah.
She'll be on her compad trying to look up like a map of the city or like a.
He starts before she even pulls that out. He's already like not quite frenetically, but close. Like typing on the compad, looking up, and then just shoves it in her direction. See. Fine. Like, and just goes walking off in in some direction that you think is probably in the direction of the train station.
Wait, what time is
Oh.
it?
Look over at Brother Nick and say, "Aye, that Sakatax there is probably in need of someone a little more supportive than myself right now."
Say it's 8 a.m.
It's 8 a.m., so we have 11 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't it a 2-day train ride to Wills? Or am I imagining that?
That's a good question. I don't think it would have been that long a train ride.
Didn't we get there and back? Because if not,
Yeah.
Java's going to be like, we got to meet that guy.
Let me think here for a second.
I feel like he would know if they could get there and back in time. Is my point.
Right, yeah, he would remember, and you guys could also find out without too much difficulty. I don't believe that there was yeah, let's see, it was a couple hour flight. Yeah, I'm gonna say boy, I don't really have good off the top of my head sense for distance and travel times. So I'm just gonna say that yeah, you could make it, but you would not have much time in that town.
It
You have
seems
an
like
idea?
people in this town did know Java, so maybe spending our limited time before conversation with the dockmaster here would be helpful before heading off to another lead.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think knowing that out of character, Java would probably have interjected with, we have time for the train station later. We would,
Yeah.
you know, wouldn't gain much from that just yet.
Yeah, because it'd be a several hour ride, and then you'd have to get back, assuming no delays on the train schedule.
Would Java be cool with Brother Nick reaching out to his contacts?
Oh, yeah.
I was wondering, yeah, using the connected or his connection abilities
Mm-hmm.
might help shake up some leads.
Yeah, he's certainly still got connections. Some of them are still going to be around and alive. So, let's see here. I don't have that pulled up. Are you wanting to go ahead and use that?
Yeah, I guess. Well, yeah, I guess I'll go ahead and use that one. That's probably our biggest one.
Okay.
And then I
What's
guess
the
should I
favor you
roll
wanna-
for the general state of Urel reaching out?
Let's take it one step at a time. Do you want
Okay.
to reach out to your contacts and try to use your connect skill first to see if you can I guess grunge up anybody who remembers interacting with Java, or do you want
Yeah,
to
I guess
try?
I'll try that.
Okay.
To then just along with checking up on him, include yeah, I guess Java's name and a recent photo of him,
Okay.
and ask if they've ever interacted with
Have you seen this man?
Mhm.
Hmm. All right. Yeah. Go ahead and give me a connect roll then. The old wisdom, I believe.
Oh, with wisdom. Well, I guess that works out the same. Let's see, I got a 12.
Oh, for some reason it didn't. Oh, I guess I didn't finish loading in. I thought I did. Yeah, 12's good. So he hits up a couple different people. Kind of sends a boilerplate text to several different people. Um, gets some silence from some negatives from others. Uh, one guy though sees the picture and um, says, "Yeah, he just his response was, I remember seeing his his face on the barred entry list at
Oh boy.
at one of the pubs that he visited frequently back a while." And
Wait, who's on the barred entry list?
Up to you.
you are.
I walked in just in time to hear the last half of that.
Yeah, so yeah, he says, yeah, there were some off-worlders that made a bit of a scene and got themselves thrown out and all banned. Uh, they were using obvious pseudonyms, so the owner just put their pictures up.
So is there a name with these pictures? Or a pseudonym?
Yeah. uh the name, he doesn't remember what all the names were, but he says if you head on down to the drunken trumpeter, oh,
Oh no, Trumpeter's better.
trumpeter. What's a trumpeter? Do I want to know?
It's how a drunk
No.
person says it.
Oh,
It's just a silly word. I just think it's a funny word.
yeah. One of the letters has been uh, the light has been out for years, and
Yes, and they've
kind
never
of a
replaced
thing.
it, and so
Hmm.
colloquially, like, the locals just all call it the
Yeah,
drunken Trumpeter.
yeah. It's drunken trumpeter, and when Brother Nick tries to clarify and correct him, he's like, no, 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 trumpeter.
So he
So,
described them as off-worlders. That's interesting.
mhm.
Oh no, this is like Jabba's fear. When he was like, "But what if I wasn't a nice person?"
We don't know that yet.
True. I mean, we've been barred from some establishments, and I think we're pretty good people.
Wait, was that in character or out of character?
In character. Out of character, I have yet to be barred from an establishment. Unless it's like a Masonic lodge for obvious reasons.
They hadn't barred me from Walmart yet, but I'm going to find their limit.
Oh, no. Ethan, no.
I want to get barred from Target. It's too expensive.
I'm doing this for financial reasons.
Yeah, that's just self-defense.
Yep.
So, the trumpeter, is he going to bring this up? And by he, I mean, is brother Nick going to share this lead with the crew?
Yeah, he'll share that with the group, and I guess he'll ask Saoirse, was the bar that dock worker fellow recommended this drunken trumpeter?
Was it, Ben? I can't remember.
Sorry, I didn't quite catch that question.
He'll
Well,
ask if the drunken trumpeter is the bar that Dockmaster had pointed
Oh.
him to.
No, he'd sent you. He'd recommended a different one. Let's see. Let me put it here.
Well,
There we go.
Excuse
with
me.
that, Brother Nick will say, sounds like we're having a bit of a pub crawl today, then.
Sarah will give a
We head
low
to
whistle.
this drunken trumpeter.
She said, and here I thought I'd never really like Yarola. I mean, well, I guess some of the people are right enough, but, you know, bit godforsaken this, yeah. Anyway, onward, and she'll look at Java. And don't banjax nothing. We can't be banned from any establishments with new Java.
Are we disguising Java before we try to go in the trumpeter?
Do you ask that in person, like in character?
Yeah, I guess before we get close. Before any bouncers could see.
That's fair. Jova, love, would you like to be the hammer again, or someone else?
Can you make me hammer but a little bit taller than last time?
She'll raise an eyebrow at that because the hammer was already pretty tall. Sure, why not? She'll go ahead and make him the hammer, but a little bit taller. Ben, is that strain when I do that, or is it?
It's an
Committed
effort. It's an effort for you. It's a system strain for him.
Oh yeah.
Effort for the scene. There we go.
Well, for her, it'll be like under the current.
Okay, current.
Yeah, because she's gonna have to keep it committed as long as he's
willing, right?
Yeah.
As long as he's willing, and she's as long as they're anywhere remotely close to each other.
But he can be unwilling and drop it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he could definitely cause a scene if he so chooses.
He could indeed ban Jackson.
If that is his choice.
I don't think that would be his choice necessarily.
As we know of right now.
Hey guys, listen, it's always good to know your options. You never know when you might just need to cause a little chaos.
It's just making me think of in Vox Machina when Grog's like, I would like to rage. I'm just thinking of Java. I would like to banjax.
You know, all said you wanted to roll new characters. I'm just kidding.
Oh no. No banjax is that bad.
Like, here we are just tooling around with the old characters. Let's move this thing along.
In a bar with 100 patrons who really hated Java.
Cade would probably be like, well, this took care of my problems, but not in the way I thought.
Yeah.
Don't kick your desk.
All right. So you guys are headed off to the Drunken Trumpeter with slightly taller hammer in search of some sort of information on the on the people who are barred entry. Okay. And all right. Yep. Didn't take you long. Will not, unless you guys have a particular mode of transportation in mind, we don't need to worry about it.
Yeah.
Can just hand wave that.
It was the llamas.
Hmm. Oh, that hit the spot. Just got some cream soda.
No, my word.
Okay.
Well, thank you for letting us know.
Refueling. Okay, creative juice is going. All right, so yeah, you guys roll up on the Drunken Trumpeter, and just at a glance, it is not the most high end of establishments. It's clean enough from the outside, but it's clearly the front has clearly seen better days. Actually, looks like has had some pretty recent repair work done on one part of the roof, but compared to a couple other buildings next door, it has fared very well in the siege, and seems to be open for business.
All right.
It being early in the morning doesn't it isn't particularly lively, and looks like you guys can just let yourselves on in.
Nice.
So you all push through the doors, the loud ding of the bell, and woman's voice calls out from the bar. Sit anywhere you'd like. Order whenever you want. She's looks like she's doing some dishwashing, getting ready for the day. And you notice there's one older man kind of slumped in a chair over in a corner, just kind of staring blankly into his cup. And there's one fairly large guy sitting cross-armed in a chair as you enter. He just looks you all over.
Does he look as
Cool.
large as or larger than the hammer?
Now they're comparable. His gaze does linger on Hammer for a moment, sizing him up. What kind of vibe is Hammer trying to give off? Anyway.
Hammer's the guy who's going to ask for chocolate milk.
All right. So yeah, he looks him over for a second and gives you all a nod and continues sitting there leaning in his chair.
Really going to de-escalate the situation.
It seems to work. So, you're in a dive bar. What you doing?
All right. Saoirse's looking around to see if those where the bar to entry posters are.
Okay. um, she didn't have to look around long. There's actually kind of like a specially lit little what am I trying to say, like cork board
Hmm.
on spot up next to the bar, prominently placed, and has in a in a fairly nice handwritten script across the top. um, the band list, and seems to have been done it very tongue in cheek with lots of attention and hamming it up. But there are quite a few faces, and you can head over that way and give them a look. But after going over all of them, Java does not feature in any of them.
Huh.
What? They lie.
Saoirse's gonna pull up a picture of Java on her compad, and she'll
Gotta buy a couple drinks first.
yeah, she will. She will. She's
Good
gonna
catch, Ethan.
she's gonna tell Ethan and the others to go ahead and brother Nick and the others to go ahead and grab a table, and then she's gonna make her way up to the bar.
Okay. Yeah, so the woman behind the bar looks up at her as she walks up. What'll it be?
Oh, I'd like to buy it around for my friends over there. We've just gotten shoreside, actually,
Oh,
and this place was recommended.
well, welcome town. And you catch just a moment of surprise that she quickly buries under her bartender charm and wide smile at the ordering of a round. And she starts pouring all the mugs, the house brew, and just making conversation. As
Does it look like
so
a dark brew or a pale ale?
it's pale.
All right, you got it.
And just asks, so how long are you going to be in town?
Unfortunately, not long enough, but we were hoping to follow some leads while we were in town. I heard you might be helpful in that regard.
Well, I don't know about that, but I sure don't mind helping a little.
Aye, of course.
Timing is
And,
pretty much perfect.
Saoirse will slide her compad over to the register, and she'll actually pay double. She'll put in to pay double whatever the amount had been for the round. And she's
Okay.
aye, of course, and I'll go ahead and pay for another round while I'm at it.
Okay then. Starting the day off a bit early, aren't we?
I'm just trying to invest in the right avenues. She'll smile.
She smiles back, and you get just a sense of suspicion behind the charges it, and then heads over with the platter and goes to dish out all the drinks.
Now,
LOL.
Good clarification there.
clarification. So Saoirse, once the drinks have been delivered to the table, she'll look around, and if there's not anybody like directly around them other than the bartender, she'll flip back over to the picture of Java and kind of zoom in on his face, and she'll say, "We're looking for connections with a certain individual, and heard that you'd had an unfortunate first impression of him. If you still remember him, I'd like some better contacts or better references."
Oh, okay. Well, I can take a look.
She'll put the compad onto the counter and slide it over to her.
With his picture up.
Yeah.
Her
Do you know
face
anything
darkens.
about this fella?
Face darkens into a scowl. What do you want to know about him?
Mm. Well, love, sorry he gave you enough trouble to darken that pretty face.
Yeah, he did.
Was he in here alone or with a group?
If only, but no, he came in with the whole posse of them. They came in fresh off of some big sale, apparently. High on life, and I should have seen this. Should have seen it coming.
So they were looking to celebrate. I mean, you've got the kind of establishment for it, for sure.
Yeah,
But
well,
did they take things too far, or were they celebrating in a way you didn't recommend?
yeah, well, let's just say they cost me some pretty repairs. And, didn't want to pay up. So yeah, I had Tommy there throw him out. Banned him. Never saw him again, thankfully.
Ah, well, I didn't notice his picture up on your board there. Quite a list of mugshots, ugly mugs, some of them. Any of them that are still up there? Some of the men that came up with him.
She glances over at it. I doubt it. That was a while ago, but usually if we don't see someone for a while, we rotate them out. People getting rowdier. Well, recent events and all.
Fair enough.
Although things have gotten a little better since the Tabukans rolled out.
Tabukans do tend to get a little too rowdy, I've noticed. Though some of them are right enough. Not too many of them, though. They do know how to rough things up a little too well.
Yeah. She frowns off into the distance, remembering that. Yeah, their rotten influence can just. Well, anyway. Sorry, you were asking about this guy, and she gestures dismissively at the compad. Yeah, can't tell you much more about him. Other than that, don't remember exactly who started the fight, but don't think it was him. That's about all I know.
Do you know who he was fighting with?
Oh, everybody.
Oh.
One of his pals, apparently pretty belligerent drunk, and yeah, they got into it and didn't get out of it until got thrown bodily out.
Oh, so he was fighting with one of his pals.
sure a couple of the regulars would remember. Everybody traded a couple of jabs, but, well, them being the aggressors and all, didn't hold it against any of my regulars.
Sure. Well, what was your name again, love?
Jin. She reaches out a hand to shake yours.
Saoirse.
She smiles. Been a pleasure.
Oh, right, charming to meet you as well. Hopefully we'll be back around soon.
She
And we'll try not to
start-
bother your patrons.
She nods. Thank you for that. And she nods towards the table. If you keep buying rounds, then be happy to see you again too. Just let me know when you want that second.
Saoirse will give her a wink and say, "Of course." And then turn back over to her group. How many regulars are in the establishment at this time of day?
At the moment, one.
Is it Tommy?
No, Tommy is the bouncer.
All right. Well, bouncers are pretty regular.
Yeah, I guess he would count.
All right.
But no,
So,
I was talking about the guy in the corner.
All right. Seeing that there's just the guy in the corner, what does she notice about him?
He looks a bit older. Hard to say exactly how old. Could maybe be Brother Nick's age, but it's worn on him a good bit more than it has Brother Nick. And he hasn't really, well, he didn't shave and dress nicely for the day's events. So he's definitely giving off the kind of a disheveled vibe.
What's he drinking?
Something dark.
Saoirse will lean back across the counter to Shin, and picking up her comm pad, she'll say, "Fella in the corner, do you know his usual?"
Oh, him. You really shouldn't. He's probably on his last for the morning.
Anything else he enjoys off the menu?
She sighs and thinks about it.
I'm sure something deep fried would probably hit the right spot. Though I know you Yarlans don't tend to have too much food around.
Yeah. She glances over her shoulder. Cook's not really in yet. Usually don't serve anything this time of day. And as of course you know, not much at all most of the day. But he'll sometimes take a coffee before he leaves. It's nothing.
I happen to know a fellow who's quite good at it.
Well,
Would you mind, my friend, using your tools at the trade back there?
she seems shocked. You want your friend to come and fix coffee for old Jimmy there?
Of course, sure enough, give you a break. Unless, of course, making the man a coffee is the highlight of your day. And if that's the case, Shin, we need to have a serious conversation about you wasting away in this place.
No. Which one?
She points
looks
to
over
the
at you. Okay. I'll just tell him to mind his manners, and sure.
Of course.
She watches him.
Thank you once
closely
again.
As he walks behind the counter to this, can he just ask if he's allowed to be here?
She gives him a weird look.
Oh, no.
Yeah, your friend just asked me. I said yes, so
Okay.
she
Well, he's gonna
gestures
go
at
make that coffee.
she gestures at the coffee machine. It's nothing fancy, just yeah, don't make a mess. And she basically just stares and watches him while she wipes down the counter and goes to put a couple things back in their places.
Wait, where's your simple syrup?
um, she points at a refrigerator back in the kitchen.
He makes a gourd of coffee. Large gourd.
A large gourd of coffee.
Large gourd of coffee. That'll say enough coffee for everyone. In
Okay, got
some
you.
random container.
All right, I was gonna say I'm not
So,
a
Here,
coffee
yeah,
connoisseur of that, knowing that terminology, but
I think a carafe would be big enough. It's gonna need to be like
the gourd.
a vase, a gourd, something
Okay.
large.
Is this
Can we
something
say
that
that
is
he actually
typically
found
done?
like a vase and is using that?
It's
Oh.
the nearest container that is large enough that he is sure everyone can get some coffee. It could be a pot for making paschetti.
I mean, I guess you could do that. Like they have a coffee pot. There aren't that many
that
people,
wouldn't be
but
big
it's okay. If he's talking about a lot of coffee, yeah, he can go grab one of the pots
As
from the
he's
kitchen.
reaching for the pot, Saoirse's gonna say, Jay, you just need to make enough for the one old man. I mean, I won't turn down a cup as well, but not sure you need to make a bathtub of it.
I really only want to do this one time. You can hear a slight slurring of his words after his second brown Russian.
Oh no.
Yeah, I was wondering if he drank the one that Nero pushed at him.
It was Saoirse. Was Saoirse able to maybe heal a little bit of that off?
Do you have that purification thing?
I was
Oh
gonna say,
no!
do you have purification protocols?
I don't know. I'm looking right now. Yes, organic purification protocols.
Because that's what for poisons and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah,
he's gonna commit to doing this regardless.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I'd say that she could definitely do that. That'll be effort for the day.
That's okay.
Actually, 2 effort. Let's see.
Two?
Well, I mean, unless she wants to go back behind the counter and go put a hand on him.
I mean, I don't know that this is worth your time, honestly.
Oh, it'd be 1 for the day and 1 for the scene. Remote repairs just for the scene.
Oh, okay, fine. The flick of her
Really?
wrist will also ask Shen where she got her lovely top that she's wearing in an effort to distract her.
Hmm.
As she's attempting to psionically burn off some of the alcohol in Java's system.
She she looks down at herself. She's wearing a plain black shirt tied in the back, and it's like, I thrifted it, but thank you.
Oh, is there a lively thrifting scene here? And Saoirse's gonna like lean in and look very interested, kind of tapping into girl mode.
No, I wouldn't say that, but there are thrift stores, and
Ugh.
they've had a
Some of the most comfortable sweaters of my life have been thrifted. Well, or borrowed.
Maybe without permission expressly, but
Well, it gotten a lot of new stock in the last few weeks, so silver linings and all that.
I'll have to take a look. What is she's also gonna like glance over Shin's shoulder to see what Java is doing at this point.
He's got some really large spoon out, and he's just stirring now.
Okay.
You
Oh,
don't
narrow!
really-
Oh my goodness!
You really don't know what he's doing.
Okay.
She's still sitting at least. She hasn't started getting up and moving around yet. But the knee is starting to bounce.
Oh my, this is like a ticking time bomb. We're about to get on the barred list. Okay. Saoirse is going to, on her compad, message Brother Nick and ask him if he wouldn't mind going and talking to the gentleman in the corner.
Coffee?
Yeah, picked up on that too, Ethan. There's just it's gonna be that like that grimace. Oh no, the holes are just there for aesthetic reasons. And Saoirse will go message Narrow and ask her if she'd be willing to go talk to the bodyguard and ask him if he has any cool stories about being a bouncer.
Nara looks down at her compad. She reads it. Takes her a second. And then she just looks over at Saoirse with the most unimpressed look.
She's so... You can see Saoirse's smiling at her, but with like an edge of pleading. And then she's gonna mouth to her, "Please."
Wait, you didn't want Brother Nick to go talk to the body or bouncer guy?
I wanted Brother Nick to go talk to the old man in the corner as a fellow old man.
I thought you were buttering him up with coffee.
Well, I figured Brother Nick could start and then the coffee could come. But if he wants to wait for the coffee, that's fine too.
She's just trying to occupy Narrow.
And say drunk old coots don't seem like they'd like other drunk old coots.
Saoirse's gonna respond with like a crying emoji and then just say, "Can you please keep Narrow from exploding?" She's gonna look over, and what's Cade doing right now?
Oh, poor Saoirse.
What is Cade doing right now? I think Cade is probably sipping at his drink. Looks like he's doing something on his compad and trying not to get involved in whatever he's doing. He glances up occasionally at Hammer to almost like to reassure himself that things haven't devolved into chaos yet.
Oh, good.
He seems to be expecting something to go sideways.
Oh my, great.
I feel like Hammer would be done with his coffee at this point.
All right. You can come out with the with the pot.
With one hand, he's going to carry out this.
Is there a ladle?
Oh, yeah. He didn't bring it up, though, because he only has two hands.
The ladle hooks over the handle of the pot.
All right, he brought cups.
Saoirse will taste it first. Just
Jin
say,
just-
is there a milk for me?
Yeah, I got cups. Here you go.
All right, she'll taste it. What does it taste like?
Is this? I feel like we should roll for it. I want to know if it's good or not. I don't want to decide.
He did start making it when he was drunk.
Yeah. I'm not asking for disadvantage here. I'm just gonna do this.
Oh no.
Oh no.
I'm gonna give you guys a couple minutes. I've got to step away for a second.
You tried to go for like a pumpkin spice thing, but he didn't have pumpkin. He just had syrup. So
I feel like a 13 out of 20 is a success, just not like a shockingly great success. But
yeah,
compared to normal bar drip coffee,
what kind of bar have you been to that has drip coffee?
well, this bar does. So I'm imagining like 7-Eleven drip coffee.
Hey now, I have heard from several coffee aficionados and websites and studies. 7-Eleven coffee is actually ranked near the top.
Let me rephrase that.
Sorry.
Alabama, 7-Eleven outside of UAB next to the hole-in-the-wall pizza shop.
No. I was just channeling Eva. I'm getting a head start.
That's okay.
Coffee made really well with beans that were very old. How's that, Danielle?
Sounds great. I'm just saying the coffee from this place is probably on average like an 8 out of 20, maybe a 10 out of 20. So a 13 out of 20 is, I think, pretty good. Like it would be a noticeable improvement in my mind.
Seems reasonable to me.
Does Nero drink coffee? Is she gonna bounce off the walls?
Nero doesn't drink coffee either. Nah.
That's good.
I think Saoirse and Java. I think Nero had alcohol once. At that social thing. When like Saoirse actually convinced her to try it.
Like, had a little party.
Yeah, outside the ship.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the only time I think Nero's ever had substances.
Cutie. Okay, so she is like, nope, not partaking in whatever that gross stuff is.
She is the anti-Boo.
I think she has had caffeine like in the past, and it's exactly as bad as you expect it would be.
I feel like coffee is also, if you're not expecting it, so deceptive because it smells so good. And then it tastes so bitter. And you're like, what did I do to you? Why are you hurting me this way?
Yeah, I can see that too. Yeah, I know. So Nero really doesn't like alcohol or caffeine or pretty much anything that's like drugs in her view.
I take that personally.
That's like, yeah, I'm taking drugs right now, according to Nero.
Well, if it actually tastes pretty good, Saoirse would thank Java for the coffee.
Nice.
Oh, she'd thank Hammer. While we're at it, is everyone happy with the pace we're going at, or should I be attempting to roleplay less?
I'm having fun.
I mean, that's all fun.
Yeah.
Again, they stand some leads out.
Happy with this?
Yeah.
Okay. Man, I'm so tired.
You're so tired. I actually didn't sleep last night.
Oh man, that sucks. I'm sorry.
Although I will take a step back, realizing that you have 3 kids, one of whom is very young. So me not sleeping one night is probably still more sleep than you've got in a week.
It might equal out. You're right.
Yeah. Like I normally don't get a lot of sleep anyways, but last night I was trying to finish a project and I was just like, well, I guess I'm just working on this until I have to go to work in the morning.
Yikes.
Yeah. So Danielle, in case you missed it, that unimpressed look was absolutely Nero being like, I know what you're doing.
I am so excited to know that that's what it meant.
Of the burning off her energies, or
Just getting her distracted.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, would Nero not love to hear some good bouncer stories? So I can imagine this bouncer like being like really excited to share bouncer stories with her, and then her just looking so bored because she's dealt with like actual wars.
Yeah. I think I think you're right. She still would enjoy that, especially like it sounds like there was some Tabukan conflict here or nearby.
Yeah.
So she might get to hear some stories of Tabukans getting thrown out.
Yeah, there you go. It's a good thing our one Tabukan is so uninterested in all of this. I'm guessing one of the kids got up or something.
Mm.
How dare they?
Right?
Well, they've been making a habit of it lately.
Alright, sorry about that, guys. I'm back.
Welcome back.
Worded.
So you might have missed my interpretation of that role, but I was gonna say any bar that sells drip coffee is not going to be selling amazing drip coffee. It's probably going to be like an 8 out of 20, maybe a 10 out of 20.
20.
So I feel like 13 out of 20 is actually pretty solid. Just gonna say it's it should be an improvement from what this establishment normally serves. Is all that's my case.
It's
Making my
definitely-
case.
It's not half bad.
It's half good.
Yeah, it's slightly better than half good.
Slightly better than half good. Okay, that's good. I'm okay with that.
So yeah, it sounds like these were divvying up. So Nara was being sicked on the bouncer.
Yep.
Maybe the bouncer sicked on her. And
Yep.
Brother Nick was going to try to talk to the regular over his mug of coffee.
Yeah, I guess he'll give it a shot. I was thinking I might go over to the bouncer.
Now that there's coffee, yeah, because she did say because he said, I don't think a drunk old coot wants to talk to another old coot. And so I think Saoirse would say, well, can you at least go with Nero to keep her from exploding? So
let them talk to the regular, and Nero and me will handle the bouncer.
Okay. So
Saoirse, yeah, go ahead. Sorry, I was going to say Saoirse would take her mug and another mug from the pot of coffee from Hammer and make her way over to the drunk old coot, as Brother Nick affectionately dubbed him.
Let's see, who do we want to do first?
You can start with the bouncer. That's fine.
Okay, bouncer first. So, how do Nero and Brother Nick approach the bouncer?
Well, Ethan, who do you think gets there first?
I guess he was busy working out plans, and then I don't know. Nero is she was ready to roll. So I'm thinking you probably beat me there.
All right. So Nero walks up to him. Did you have to throw any tabukins out?
He looks at her. Excuse me?
Did you have to throw any tabukins out?
Well, yeah, a couple of times.
What happened?
He just looks very, very confused. He kind of sizes her up, looks around, and then sits up in his chair a little bit. Well, you want to hear some stories about me throwing Tabukan soldiers out?
Yeah.
Kind of sits up straighter, cracks his knuckles, and says, well, the day before they left, and
No.
You know what?
Group, and they were.
I was gonna say it sounded like you were gonna kind of curtain that and just leave it, let him ramble on his story and move on to the scene. I just want to add there. I think that this guy's energy has Nero's attention, despite her reservations and her annoyance at being just basically go steal your energy, go calm your energy. I think his energy is hyping her up, and now she's into this.
Nice. Yeah,
for better or worse.
He starts describing, some, snide comments or something, and some, rivalry between there've been a couple that had been there a few times on their rounds, and got them started, and described goes into detail about having to get pretty physical with these guys and having to actually break up the fight and between them and some local. And so yeah, he's miming punches and holds and
Nero will play act and shadow box in there with him.
Nice. And I pepper it with some. And then what?
Yep.
Yeah. So I didn't catch, was brother Nick was headed over there as well?
Yeah, I guess see that it's going all right. Yeah, because I think he was caught unawares by just going over.
Yeah, he'd probably walk up on the start of the retelling, see how that's going. How would Brother Nick proceed then?
So yeah, I guess let him wrap up his retelling and say, hope my friend isn't causing too much trouble. She just likes to hear war stories.
Trouble. He just looks at Nero and kind of smirks and gives kind of like the almost like thumbing towards Brother Nick. Can you believe this guy?
He doesn't
and,
understand.
Oh well.
You think she'd get enough of it from work, but I guess she found the right line of employment.
Oh well. You can never hear too many stories about stuck-up jerks getting what's coming to them.
Is he at all enticed by the fact that Nero has her own stories?
I didn't come up yet.
No, Nara's not. I misheard you. Yeah, no, it does not like he's asked yet.
Mm-hmm.
But no, she's not any trouble at all. In fact, she was a really good listener. Gives her a big pat on the shoulder.
So yeah.
Really good listener. Well, now she's shadow boxing. And what? And then what?
I said she is suited for our line of work. Say we get hired to look for jerks who have it coming.
Oh, really?
I actually have one, but we're hoping you might be able to help us find. Or he slips him or a picture of Java.
Oh no!
From his compact.
Okay. Yeah. Right before, right before Brother Nick hands in the picture, he's looking at Nero, and he gives her swords a significant glance, like, "Yeah, I was hoping you'd have some stories to tell." And then looks back over as Brother Nick puts the combat in. Like, oh, this guy, huh? What'd he go and do?
Oh, it's a laundry list. Sounds like from your friend at the bar that that's been his pattern of behavior just about everywhere he goes. Afraid he's made too many of the wrong sort of friends, if you catch my drift.
I'd believe it in a second.
Saoirse would look offended if she heard that right now.
Yeah, he had all kinds of, never has to deal with the consequences of his own actions kind of vibe, as far as I was concerned, but, you know, can't judge too much from one rowdy night. Only night I ever saw the guy, but yeah, he got into it pretty hard.
Ever hear any more about him or any of his buddies? They weren't exactly on the contract, but I figure that's gravy if we pick up some of them too.
I was trying to think. Not really. Tossed them out one or two at a time and watched them kind of collect themselves, still laughing their dumb heads off in the rain, waiting for a taxi or something. They got picked up and never saw him again. We're up on the wall for a while, but you know, can't keep every off-worlder that makes a name for himself up there forever.
You'll keep around any of the old photos once they come off the wall, or
oh yeah,
have the old prints.
I'm sure Jen's got the pictures. She stuffs them away somewhere for a little bit, but yeah, I don't know. Funny thing though, He taps the comm pad. They were all using fake names, but I remember this guy. This guy was real special. You ready? And he looks over at Nero.
She
His
nods
hands like
enthusiastically.
in the air. He's like, this guy went by the name of Zippy. Zippy. Can you believe it?
Zippy.
I mean, now, hey, watching that guy's fists, I could have respected that, but he just kind of chuckles. Zippy. Yeah. Yeah, I don't remember much about the night they were there. I mean, it seemed like everything was normal, typical night. I wasn't used to having all out brawl like that though. Not till the Taboogans came along.
Did you fight Zippy?
He scratches his chin and thinks for a second. Hard to say. I might have clocked him one. Remember him, he's like, yeah, now as you mention it, I remember having to get a grip on that little guy. And he clocked me a couple good ones in the ribs. But he was wasted. It's really just wasn't being too careful on my part, But hey, yeah, good luck catching him anyway. No.
Well, yeah, I'll also send along your regards once we get a hold of him. And if you do turn up anything, we'd appreciate it. Might even have a few credits to throw your way.
Well, alrighty then. Yeah, give him one right in the belly button for me.
I love that this giant bouncer just used the word belly button.
Well, you're welcome. It is a word that he knew. Decided to use in that moment. But so after that he turns to Nero and then says, so now you're not gonna make me ask, are you?
Danielle, are you like eating an entire plastic container?
I'm sorry.
Okay, just making sure.
I'm so sorry. I
I
am.
get really hungry late at night. Sometimes it's the only thing that'll stop the craving.
Yeah.
It's called I didn't eat dinner earlier. And I'm now trying to eat dinner now. And I have a package of peppered salami. So apologies
Oh,
to
no
everyone.
apologies necessary. That sounds delicious.
Oh, there it
I'm
is.
now
Yeah.
jealous.
Some old charcuterie.
Yeah, never mind the fact that her loving husband prepared dinner earlier. Apparently that wasn't good enough.
I'm also
One-
eating the dinner that my loving husband prepared earlier.
So,
I'm eating both.
moving right along
Judge
from
me.
that.
It's a 2-course meal of dinner and then girl dinner.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll not ask too carefully after the exact nature of the dinner that loving husband made.
Was it the peppered salami?
Oh no, that's straight off the hallowed shelves of Trader Joe's.
Hey, this is comfort food. I'm enjoying my food you made me. Nothing bad about it.
Well, that's good to hear. Anyway,
So, Nero, upon being asked, well, very heavily suggested, implied that she should share a tale, kind of looks hesitant and looks over at Brother Nick, back at the bouncer. I don't know how much I'm allowed to say.
Oh, I see how it is.
That's the best bait ever.
He leans forward on the, puts both elbows on the table, puts his fists together, and looks her right in the eyes. Let me guess. If you told me you'd have to kill me,
I wouldn't kill you.
well, he flexes one of his biceps and makes a little smooch in the air towards it. Of course not, but I mean, hey,
Stop.
you have to try anyway.
Oh my goodness.
Is definitely smiling here.
A world away, Kareem's hackles rise. For no apparent reason. He feels the urge to message Nero. Missed you. Wish you were here.
Spins in his chair and looks behind him. What was that?
Nero looks back over at Brother Nick and says, "Can I tell him about the airstrike?"
Airstrike.
Yeah, that was a pretty good job. I guess.
Yeah, as soon as
Give
Brother
too
Nick
many
says, "Yeah, that
details,
was a pretty
though.
good job," and get to the yeah, Nero launches into. She starts from. Sorry to cut you off there, Ethan. I'll let you finish.
No,
I just
okay,
want to
she's
make sure
rolling.
it was clear that Nero is absolutely interrupting Brother Nick
Yeah.
at this point.
That's very in character.
She starts from the ambush of the Tabukan soldiers in the transport that they were hunting them with.
And you have the bouncer's rapt attention.
Let's see if there's any embellishment here.
How about you think on that while we
Okay.
we can cut over to the regular in the corner. I think we were gonna have Saoirse and Java go talk to him.
Job's
Danielle,
idea
you-
to get a hammer.
Well, true. Danielle, you're muted if you're.
Sorry. Yeah, Saoirse would have motioned a hammer and said, "You mind coming with me, big fella?"
Bringing this, right?
Yeah,
Points at his triple coffee gourd.
bring. Go ahead and bring 3 mugs.
And he does.
All right.
All right, so you guys approach this older man who's slouched in his chair over in the corner, staring at his drink, and he doesn't look up as you approach.
When we're standing in front of the table, Saoirse will say, "Top of the morning, good sir. I heard that you might like to follow up whatever that is with a good cup of coffee."
About halfway through her sentence, he belatedly drags his gaze over to her and blinks slowly. What's this about? Coffee?
Oh my.
Might should have organically purified him.
Oh, is she actually gonna do that to him?
Oh no! It's so bright, he might destroy this man.
Danielle.
That was literally an accidental click, by the way.
Oh, okay. I was
Oh
just
no,
like,
it's too perfect.
because
Like,
Ethan said
nope,
something
soap
about it,
time.
and then you clicked it, so I was like, oh, okay, well, is she actually doing that? But she is not doing that?
Not yet.
Okay.
She'll try and go the natural route first.
Okay.
She'll pull out a Twinkie and slide it over to him, and then put a mug down in front of him and say, my friend here made you some coffee.
Suddenly, across the bar, Nero stops talking. And Saoirse feels eyes burning in the back of her neck.
She's just
I'm
cursing under her breath.
I'm kidding. I think Nero is too engrossed in her story to notice that a Twinkie has been stolen from her.
Because, as Nero is well aware, every Twinkie is rightfully hers.
Absolutely.
So, the old man will look. His eyes are narrowed now at Saoirse, and he looks down at the Twinkie she put on the table and then over to the coffee mug. What's this all about, anyway? He kind of pokes the Twinkie with his finger.
Oh, it's a special treat. Where one of my friends is from. Goes really well with a stiff drink.
How is it now?
Helps to
Isn't that-
soak it up a bit.
Mighty convenient, that.
Always got to carry him with me.
Go ahead and give me a talk check with charisma.
Really? On the drunk old man? Alright.
With you can take a plus. You can take a 1+1 for your bribery.
Great. Here comes my sack attacks personality. Yep.
Oh no.
Do you not
Yeah.
remember that I have terrible charisma?
Oh no, I do. I definitely remember that.
Oh, great. Thanks. Thanks so much for that.
I mean, it doesn't mean I'm gonna never make you do a talk roll. So he still seems suspicious of you, and through his slurred through his slurred mutterings, you catch something about bothering him on his day off, and
Saoirse tries to hide the shock on her face that this man is gainfully employed.
and kind of pushes the Twinkie away, and he like leans over to look down into the coffee, like with one eye, and then takes a little whiff. Oh. And he, what do you put in there? Yeah,
Will Java say anything to that?
Kind of awkwardly waves his hand in the air towards Saoirse, like, go away.
Java's got some coffee for this man. I'm sorry, Hammer.
Hammer's got what you said for this man?
Hammer's big and scary, and he's got a cup of coffee for this man.
Yeah, the man doesn't seem impressed with the cup of coffee, actually.
Maybe he's a barista.
Can't believe it. If he's unimpressed, I don't have anything else to say to him.
I just love the mental image of Hammer going, turning up his nose, turning away, and stalking off.
That's it. Just burn the bar down.
There's the trigger he's been waiting for.
Oh my. All right. Saoirse is going to very rudely sober up this man.
It's happening.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She'll reach a hand over to his wrist
Mm-hmm.
on the table and say, "Oh, sir, beg you to reconsider." And then she'll do organic purification protocol.
Okay. It's another effort for the day.
I feel like my effort is not accurate right now.
No, I think it is. She's maintaining the vial in her own arm. She's got one for her cloak. Or well, no, not for her cloak, for the
Not for my cloak.
the armory. And then she's got one for Hammer's metamorphosis.
Okay.
And then the one scene in one day are for the sobering she did of Hammer already.
Okay. And the bonus?
The bonus is reflecting the fact that she's got metasionics and such.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. I'll double check that afterward. But yeah, that should be right.
All right.
All right, yeah. So she sobers him up, and she gets basically. He looks like he's been in a fender bender and whiplashes, and gives out a kind of startled yell, not like at the top of his lungs, but just like a ah, and then shakes his head back and forth real quick. He's trying to shake something off. What in tarnation? Looks at shakes her hand off of him, and then
But she had already removed her hand. Don't you worry.
Okay. So yeah, he's like delayed reaction, gesturing as though he's shaking her hand off. I'm like, he's ramrod straight up in his chair now, and pulled way back. And looks at her. What did you just do to me?
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Sorry, did you say anything after looks at her?
Oh, yeah, I don't know if it cut out.
It cut out.
Okay, he looks at her and says, what did you just do to me?
I offered you a cup of coffee and a cake.
Well,
she's gonna look like really concerned that he yelled.
Oh, but that didn't. No, that wouldn't have done nothing.
Hammer's gonna say, "Still don't like my coffee."
He like smacks his lips, and but then he like looks off in the distance for a second. I didn't. Did I? No, I didn't even take a sip of that coffee.
Sir, are you all right?
He's like staring at her in consternation. No, I ain't all right. Like,
you don't remember drinking the coffee?
I still got my tongue. I don't taste anything except, and he points at his nearly finished drink. Just that stout that I have had. Well, I don't know how many I've had, but hey, Jen, he calls across the bar. How many have I had? She's like, you're on number 6. Yeah. And I should not be this sober. And his expression is kind of changing from shocked to kind of upset as he's looking at Saoirse. Now again, what did you do to me?
Maybe you got so drunk you circled all the way back around.
It's not a line, it's a circle.
He stands up and looks around, I guess, Saoirse. Who was that?
No.
And Tommy is taking notice now.
Listen,
Oh, let's get to the good part.
Yeah, he looks very annoyed at being distracted from the story.
Maybe that fella had a few too many stouts there.
No, that's exactly the problem. She did something to me, and I don't feel like I took a sip today. Jen is looking over.
Saoirse's gonna look at Jen like helplessly, like concerned, but also like help.
She's also, she was at first she was just kind of brushing off, but now she's looking over and she has a kind of confused look on her face. She says, "Now, Jim, you're okay. Just sit down, hold on a second. I'll have you another out in just a second. On the house, don't worry about it." And he's blustering, but he goes, "Well, I guess I appreciate that, Jen, but I just..." He's glaring at Saoirse. "I don't know." He takes a deep breath and sits back down. And in a much quieter voice, he says, "I don't know what you did to me, but that is mighty weird. I have never in all my days..."
Been that sober? Sir, I'm sure at some point your mother had to birth you.
Now you're just trying to get a rise out of me. Leave me
She'll
alone.
give a wink.
Hey, Tommy, would you... And Tommy calls over. "Hush now, Jim. She's just ribbing you. Calm down and finish your drink." And
Now, if it's being blackout drunk you're interested in, Saoirse will slide into the chair across from him. I'm happy to foot the bill to get you back there.
he just glares at her. "That's the least that you'd owe me."
According to your calculations, I somehow owe you 6 stouts.
And he says this over the last one that he had as he's knocking it back. He puts it down, wipes his mouth. "Yep. Well, 5, since sweet old Jen she's covering 1 for you." And he looks over and gives a very natural and very genuine smile to the bartender, who she returns the favor, and as she's already on her way over with his next mug. Thank you, darling. She says, of course, Jim. Now, remember, no yelling, please. Not like that, anyway. Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry. And takes the mug from her and immediately starts drinking steadily at it before putting it down and shooting Saoirse another frown. Now, what do you want anyway? Wasting my time bothering me?
Well, I mean, if you'd prefer to just go back to being sober and bitter by yourself, I'm happy to let you have just the one stout. But if you would like me to pay recompense for this perceived wrong you've come up with, could use some information you might have about a certain trouble starter, someone who might have been more of a headache than myself to you.
That's hard to believe right now.
I know. I tend to have that effect. And she'll smile.
I don't doubt that one bit. And
she'll pull up the picture of Java again. She'll slide it. Well, she won't slide her compad over to this guy. She doesn't trust him. But she will hold it up. Say, "Did you ever throw a couple blows at this fella?"
Sorry, what did she say?
Did he ever throw any blows at that guy?
Oh. Throw blows. Miss Jen can tell you, and Tommy too, I do not start trouble in this here establishment.
Oh.
But he starts leaning forward to look at the picture, and then locking eyes with her again, said, all 5 stouts?
Every one of them.
I grumbles. Well, guess it can't hurt to tell you that God, you remember that smug little guy? He was came in here one I don't know how long ago, but one busy night, all strutting around, him and his posse, ready to rumble through the town or something. They were I don't know, they were just going on and on, tooting their own horns, and well, they got in somebody's face and didn't like it. One of his buddies started getting handsy and throwing fists, and it got a little out of hand, more than usual. But, yeah, I steered clear out of that mess. Ain't nothing worth getting my drink spilled over.
Yes, can understand. Do you remember what any of the other fellows that were with him looked like?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I'd probably recognize if you showed me more pictures, but I don't know.
Ah. She'll go to get up and she'll say, I'll be right back then.
Sure. He looks up and kind of trails off. And looks over to Hammer. Kind of eyes the pot of coffee he's got. So you fix that up?
You're right, Skippy, I did.
Hmm. You new here or something? I don't think I've seen you before.
I'm allowed to be here.
He does kind of a double
Yes.
take.
The nice lady in the corner did say he was allowed to be here.
Well, I'd sure hope so, or Tommy'd been having words with you. I mean, I wouldn't suggest anything like that. I just making conversation.
Yeah, I made the coffee.
Well, make sure, well, I don't mean to tell you how to do your job or nothing, but, you know, I have got used to the way they make it, so, I wouldn't mind it being the same.
It's
But all
totally
that,
the same. You should try it.
ain't the right color. What all would you put in it anyway?
I put the stuff in it.
The stuff.
Yeah. Gin stuff.
Well, don't that just solve it?
Watch, and he'll try it.
He just, he gives Hammer like a confused look, like rubs his forehead. Well, yeah, I know it. I know it's not dangerous or nothing. You like it, but well,
While they're talking, Saoirse had gone over to Jin and said, asked basically for her old posters.
mhm. Yeah, she had she would gladly go dig through them, and she actually pulls out what kind of looks almost like a scrapbook. Pulls it out with and starts leafing through it. Finds the the one of Java's face. It looks a little looks slightly grainy, and from a little angle, it looks like it was a security camera picture from the front door. And one centered on his face, and then there are others that are clearly seem like frames.
They came in together.
Before or after, yeah, different guys. Shows them all to you.
She'll say, do you mind if I show this to Jim?
Yeah, she'll let you. She'll take the couple of pages out and hand them over to you. They're laminated safely.
Nice.
And as you're taking them over to old Jim, the she notices there's some little handwritten notes underneath them, detailing pretty much the same thing that you've already heard from the bouncer about one of them, and it actually notes which one started the fight, and that all of them were involved in a brawl, and that cost her a couple broken chairs and a cracked table.
All right, great.
And and of course a smashed window. Yeah.
All right. Saoirse's going to take pictures with her compad of the guys who came in with Java.
Okay.
And send them to the group. She's also going to take the picture of Java's page because this is all good stuff. But then she'll go back over to where Jim is staring at Hammer.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, what's happened while she was gone?
I feel like Java probably educated him on the intricacies of making actually good coffee.
And old Jim has nearly finished his mug of stout, and looks like he is not very good at hiding the fact that he is putting up with this description.
Saoirse would have, I forgot about this. Saoirse would have asked Jin to bring another stout to Jim when he was done. She'll just say, keep him coming till he's back up to his usual self. Though maybe give me some time in between.
Okay. She'll say, yeah, and these will go on your bill, but
Saoirse looks at her.
Voice a little bit.
Already paid for a second round, remember?
Well, yes, and she's she thumbs over at all her other companions who are who have their second drinks.
What?
I mean, we kind of glossed over that, but
I don't think anybody, because Nero didn't even drink her first one. I don't even know.
Oh, it was her. It was Nero's first one that.
Yeah, I think that's why Hammer was so sloshed, is because Nero pushed hers over to him.
Okay, got you. Okay, well then, in that case, yeah, we can. She'll be happy to just take these, take the second round of drinks you paid for as his drinks. But she leans in a little bit and lowers her voice. What exactly did you do to him? It's not like him after 6 drinks.
Saoirse would say, well, I have been told I tend to have a calming effect on some people and enraging on others.
Okay. She just says, okay. Give me a talk check.
All the talk checks.
I just want to say in advance, Ben, I am going to love it every time you ask me to make a talk check with Evie. -1 talk, -1 charisma.
Nice.
Saoirse wasn't really trying to hide anything. She was honestly just trying to give a non-answer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And it was clearly received as such.
If she looks a little annoyed, she'll if Jin looks a little annoyed, Saoirse will just say, I'll be happy to explain later, love.
Fair enough. Then just watches Saoirse go back to the table. We need to go ahead and wrap it up about at this point.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, wow.
Do we want to pick up next time and continue with old Jim, or do we want to kind of summarize? I don't know how much more you were hoping to get out of him.
We could summarize old Jim. I'd be cool with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll just say that you show him the pictures. He would recognize. He'd pick out, and as you show the pictures that are, pretty clearly all the guys coming in with Java, or Zippy as he was known that night. He said, yeah, that he recognizes those, and points at one that has a has a note under it that says Hugo, and it's of a guy who's got a broad broad jawline and very very well styled blonde hair, and say that that he remembers that guy was the one who started the fight, and was yelling at all his yelling at his other boys to back him up. But that's pretty much the extent of what he's able to tell you as you as you bribe and imbibe him back up. Bribing and imbibing. It's
the name of our mini game.
Yep. Yeah, and that's we'll go ahead and leave it at that, and pick up next time with you guys heading out of this bar, and maybe we could even time skip to meeting the dock master in the evening. Maybe summarize some other points of interest you might want to check out just for kicks, but try to move things along next time. All right, then let's go ahead and wrap it there. Everybody take an XP and we'll start doing faves.
Bouncer man.
Bouncer.
All right. Ethan's made his vote already. It looks like I'm first this time, so I will say, I guess I'll call it the forceful sobering. I can't think of a more clever turn of phrase at the moment, but yeah, that was great.
I've been banned from several AA meetings.
But yeah, that just I had like in the back of my mind when once you did it to Hammer, back of my mind I thought, ooh, now that would be interesting. Like, how would that go again with somebody who wasn't expecting it, or like, especially somebody who really wasn't gonna go for it. So yeah, that was a really fun scene to play out. Danielle?
Having to try and manage the crew while also trying to do recon. AKA tracking Nero's boredom meter.
And Java's chaos meter.
And Java's chaos meter, yes.
Let's see, you said while... Man, I'm slow.
While trying to do, research.
Oh, okay, yeah. While investigating. While doing the research. At various moments tonight, I just felt like I spaced for half a second and just completely missed something that somebody said.
fair. Oh, God.
Did a pretty good job of it.
Yeah, that's actually my fave. Is the the managing of the narrow boredom meter. Just a quick glance over, recognize, oh, she's about this. I need to do something. And as a secondary, the surprisingly compatible energy of Tommy.
Yeah, Saoirse's gonna be leaving him a business card before they leave.
Awesome. I'm glad you enjoyed enjoyed my bouncer.
Pretty good.
Let's see. All right. Ethan's got Bouncer Man. Did you want to elaborate, Ethan, or have a second one?
Oh no, he's perfect. 10 out of 10. No notes.
All right, Avery.
I had a few, but I'm gonna go with the first one that comes to mind, which is, am I allowed to be here?
Yeah, that was a great question.
The double arm, beautiful.
Yeah, on a similar note, I love the what kind of vibe are you giving off? Yeah, I'm the guy who's gonna order a chocolate milk.
That was so just the first thing that came to my mind.
Yeah. I feel like it was perfect.
It was.
You can put that one down too if you want to cement it in history. That was another
That
good
should
one.
be in quotes, honestly.
Oh, which one? The yeah.
Bouncer Man eyes you down. Wonders what kind of man you are.
What kind of vibe are you giving off to the bouncer?
What
I'm a
kind of
man who's
vibe?
about to order a chocolate milk.
There we go.
Yeah, let me get that. Let's see. All right.
There you go.
Yeah, sorry. Moment of silence while I type. Yeah, I thought of I don't know, a wittier, maybe at least in my mind, version of my favorite, which was drying out the old coot.
A bit taller.
Yeah, I feel like that's a necessary like modifier every
Yeah.
time it's brought up. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's a secondary favorite thing. Yeah, I think I'll have to give it to narrow vibing with the bouncer. Uh,
Man, Nero and the bouncer shadow boxing was straight up just one of the best things of the night.
Yeah, that was. Because I guess I don't know. I was not really. I was not
Expecting it.
expecting. Well, I was not expecting Nero to not get along with the bouncer because it's like, okay, they've got some similar interests already. I guess, and because I knew how I was intending to portray the bouncer, um, I felt like, they would get along fine. But I just didn't expect to the level of Nero, like, oh yeah, like this is so much more interesting than everything else going on right now. So let's do this. Like
Mhm.
acting out some of the stuff he's describing, and with him, that was just fun to imagine. So props to you.
Thank you. And I had imagined it, I think, a little bit differently myself. Not that she was acting out what he was describing, but when he would say that, he came in for an uppercut, she would shadow box as like the person that's being uppercut.
Yeah, that's
That's
Oh,
what
okay.
I figured. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay,
kinda like
yeah.
playing along to the other side of
Yes.
the way he's describing his own movements, or when he's describing things the other person did, her kind of miming along to
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's exactly. That's just great. All right. Well, I think that's everything. So yeah, thank you all for playing. We'll go ahead and call it there, and look forward to next time.
Alrighty. As we march inevitably towards the epic denouement of coffee at Java.
Indeed.
Looking forward to it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and gonna go ahead and end the stream here.
All right.